I'm Reverend Cornell Carter, and we're celebrating Black History. Today we want to talk about Wilda Bell Howard. Wilda Bell Howard was born July 21st, 1949 in the city of Wadsworth, Ohio. Her great-grandparents came to Wadsworth, Ohio from Chesterfield County in eastern Virginia, and they came to that city on the promise of working in silver mines. And though it turned out that those silver mines were actually salt mines, it did demonstrate that her great-grandparents, who made the trip from Virginia to Ohio, did so because they sought a better life for their children and for generations to come. We can imagine that working in those salt mines was not an easy thing, dark and cool and cavernous, but it represented an opportunity for a better life. And so it was worth the trip that life, in fact, might be better for the Howard family. Wilda graduated from Wadsworth High School in 1967. She was a member of the choir. She acted in plays, and she was one of 2 African-American students in her class. The idea that her family cared for subsequent generations was not lost on Wilda Bell Howard. In fact, it became a hallmark in her personality and in her career over the years. After graduating from Wadsworth High School in 1967, she worked in a nursing home helping people. She attended nursing school to help people, and ultimately ended up working for the Department of Welfare for Summit County. Wilda's lifestyle was one that was committed to helping people wherever she went. Ultimately, she would move to the City of Medina, where she would later marry and raise 3 children. In 1985, as a result of a grassroots effort led by Wilda, Curtis Perkins, and Herdestine Price, Wilda would run for the Ward 1 council seat on Medina City Council, being victorious after the election. The media took no time in touting her victory, especially in light of the fact that only 3% of the city of Medina were African Americans at that time. 2 years after her election as the Ward 1 councilperson for Medina City Council, Wilda would not only become an advocate for the west side of Medina, but for the entire city of Medina, being elected city council president. It was her goal that no one would go hungry, that no one would be left outside, that no one would be thirsty, that no one would be lonely. Wilda was a voice for those who had no voice, and her election to the presidency of Medina City Council signaled that the political process in the city of Medina was open to everyone. In Frederick Douglass, we see the power of words. We're reminded of how we can speak life into seemingly hopeless situations. In Martin Luther King Jr., we see the power of a dream. For it is through our dreams that we can envision a better reality, not just for ourselves, but for everyone. And in Harriet Tubman, we see the power of caring. Wilda Bell Howard's life captured perfectly the power of words, the power of dreaming, and the power of caring. It wasn't enough for her family to benefit from working in the salt mines in Wadsworth, Ohio. It wasn't enough for her to be elected Ward 1 council person in the city of Medina. It wasn't enough for her to be elected council president for the city of Medina. Wilda Bell Howard wanted to not just speak a message, but she wanted ordinary citizens to see a message, to feel a message, to be impacted by the hope that comes from words, dreaming, and caring. Wilda took the skills and the lessons from a lifetime of public service, from a lifetime of politics. And even as she retired into private life, she used those skills and those abilities and those insights to make life better for others, whether she was filing taxes or completing unemployment assistance applications, whether she was tutoring children or packing food for the hungry or shipping clothes for those without. She remained a voice of hope and promise for the people of our community. She never tired of being a visible reminder that with the desire to change lives and impact people and to give hope and encouragement, we in fact can be a beacon of hope for people living and walking in darkness. Her life is a reminder that every word we speak, every dream we dream, and every moment we take to care advances the cause of humanity further. And when we all recognize that our lives are connected, whether we live on the west side of Medina or the east side of Medina, whether we're black or white, whether we're young or aged, we're connected. We are one. I'm Reverend Cornell Carter, and we're celebrating Black history.